Okay, it's Steve here. Got not another Batrep for you, but I've got Marcel with me. Hi there.
Hi there, Steve.
Hello. We have already recorded this once. But unfortunately, I wasn't recording my half of the conversation. So this is our second attempt at recording. Last time it took us a whole hour, so it was pretty frustrating. So this time we're going to try and keep it nice and short, and then hopefully it should be fairly easy to edit as well. Yeah, so the main thing we're talking about... Sorry, go on.
We did all the jokes in the last one, so you will be missing out on them.
We're not going to be funny this time. Yeah, no funny, yeah. And so we recently went to a tournament, although it was a week ago now.
Yeah.
And so Marcel's already done Batreps for all of his games at that tournament. So that's going to go up on the page, on the channel pretty soon. And I didn't take any photos at all, so I'm not going to be doing Batreps for that. At the time when I started the first game, I didn't take any photos. I just didn't think about it, and then I kind of felt like I was actually concentrating a bit better when I wasn't taking photos. So I decided not to bother carrying on taking photos. It's a lot easier to take photos in casual games, and also I feel like in casual games that's where I'm learning the best stuff. So it's probably the best stuff that's worth recording. So anyway, in the tournament I went 2 for 2. So I was pretty happy with that. I was playing Maddox and Nemo 3, same list I've been playing in all the Batreps up until now. And I won both of my Maddox games and lost both of my Nemo games. And in both of my Nemo games, main reason why I lost was giving up the Hurricane too easily. So I think that's pretty much, that's about as concise as I could be with with how I did at the tournament. How about you?
I went 1 in 3, and the one that I won was just because my opponent didn't get the rules right, because we were playing this chimera of the Steamroller 2017 rules plus the Privateer Press Insider and so on. And basically I won because he didn't get all of the stuff from the Privateer Press Insider and thought I had one more scenario point to go. And the other 3 games, all of them I lost. For 2, actually, I know what I should have been doing, then I would have had a chance, so maybe next time. I lost in both games because I threw away Ruck, and both times it wasn't really necessary. I could have actually achieved something very game-changing with him, but...
Yeah. It's often the case with those big pieces like the Hurricane or Rock that they're very expensive. So when they die, there's a significant chunk of your points is down the toilet.
Yeah.
So you really need to either trade really far up, like Rock killing a Hurricane, for example.
Yeah.
Or you've got to keep them back and just use them as the threat rather than the actual damage dealer.
Yeah. Exactly. And in one game I missed to give Rook Pathfinder with the objective, so he didn't have a damage buff and left Jack on 1 point. And in the other game I served him to Madrak 2, completely forgetting that Madrak 2 has sack pawn, and then everything he could do was stand there and hit Madrak 1 and kill one warrior model after the other. And that's it. Cool. Next round he was dead.
So, as far as the lists are concerned, like I said, I played Maddox and Nemo 3, and I'm very happy with them as a pair. They seem to work quite well. So, Nemo's much more control-y, but also does a lot of damage. And Maddox is very heavy damage dealing with a little bit of control, so it's kind of a nice pair. I generally lean on Maddox quite a lot, and I think with the changes to Storm Lancers coming up, she's still going to be pretty good. So that's quite cool. And I have started to play Nemo 1 now with Jack Spam. And there's already a Batrep of that up on the channel, so that's where I talk about my new list and why I chose what I chose and what it is, in fact, and everything like that. So you're going to be trying out a new list soon as well?
I will. I used the list that I already used on the channel, so my Borka 1 list and my Doomshaper 2 list. Doomshaper 2 keeps on being amazing, in my opinion. He can do an amazing amount of work, and everybody is, at least up until now, was afraid of that list.
I'm not afraid of it. I'll take it down.
Actually, 3 of my opponents chose their lists especially because they thought they need to be able to somehow deal with Doom Shaper 1, and because of that, they just can't use the other list. If
Oh, wow.
I take Doom Shaper, they are screwed. I also like my Borka 1 list, but I clocked myself with that 2 times now, I think, and I think at the moment, I start believing the internet that the Warders and the Champions are slightly overcosted. I have some hopes for the next CID, but until that is live, I will start playing Gunbjorn again, who was shelved because that list contained the battle engine, and the battle engine at the moment is also not that good. I really like it, but it just dies. The CID will go live soon, so I could use that again. But the main reason I want to use Gunbjorn is 2 days ago a package arrived, and now I'm currently assembling and magnetizing and painting a Mountain King, and I really want to play him because he's awesome.
Yeah, that Mountain King model is my favourite model in the game, I think. He's very cool.
Yeah,
Such a cool sculpt. The only downside is that you can't change his pose. He's kind of fixed in that pose.
Yeah, I saw some who changed the pose, but it always looked a bit awkward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because of all the musculature and everything. It's all sculpted, so
it's easier with the Jax, but with most
way easier. Yeah.
With most models on Horde side, especially the character models or the Gargantuans, there is little you can do to repost them without some major green stuff work.
So what you said about the troll stuff being too expensive, I think I'm inclined to agree with you. I think they would fix a lot in trolls if they just shaved a point off more or less everything.
Yeah.
Just give all of the warlocks like a couple more beast points, and then just take a point off all of the war beasts, and maybe a couple of points off each unit.
Yeah, actually, the war beasts and trolls are considered okay. We have some, or internet says we have some taxes on everything. So everything needs to be balanced against the stone, of course, and everything needs to be balanced because we might have a Mauler or a Mountain King in there giving +3 strength, and with that buff alone you can make a heavy killer from a light beast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But the elite infantry and trolls is, I think they are okay, but when I compare them to what other factions can bring for the same price, I'm a bit sad.
They should have like the elite infantry should have boxes. I feel like trolls.
They have 5 boxes currently. They used to have 8. And
8 boxes seems more reasonable to me for something like, I mean, they're medium based and it's trolls. They're supposed to be super tough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now let's see what comes out of the Northkin CID that they announced, and
you might get a nice new theme.
We get lots and lots. We get a new theme and we get lots of new toys.
Cool.
My credit card is already
weeping. Hopefully that will help out. In anticipation.
Yes.
Cool. So the final thing we wanted to talk about was we both listened to the recent, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, this Deathlock has 60 minutes, featuring Tim, the Canadian.
Yeah.
What's his surname?
Banksy, I think.
And he organised the Southern Ontario Open.
Correct.
And one of the things he talked about was that he helps a lot of other War Machine players do their training to try and improve their game a bit.
Yeah.
And he talks about how important it is to set goals for yourself, just to try and keep disciplined and try and see what you actually want to get out of the game.
Yeah.
And try and achieve that. So with that in mind, we both decided to make an official list of the goals that we want to achieve before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Which actually includes all the stuff we've done up to this point in the year as well.
Correct. I think just saying, oh, I want to do 20 more games until end of the year doesn't mean too much if you are listening to this in 4 months. So just saying I want to do this in 2017 is much more readable.
Yeah, Yeah, that's right. So, do you want to go first?
Okay, I will go first. I want to do one game a week in on average this year, so 52 games. I am already at 32 right now, and I hope I can join the guys in Hamburg on Thursdays every week. So I will probably surpass that goal without any problems. I want to do 6 tournaments this year, one each 2 months. I already had 3. In this, I also include small tournaments that are not listed on the T3 side. The small internal tournaments of the Hamburg guys.
So the sort of thing where it's not officially recognised, but you still get like 3 or 4 games in one day.
Yeah, and especially if you are playing with the Hamburg guys, I think most of them are like top 100, top 150 in Germany, so they are highly competitive. So
it's a very competitive group, and that has actually already both of us agree that it's already improved our games a lot, since we started going there.
Yeah. And what also helps me immensely in learning and recognizing my mistakes is doing battle reports. So I want to go up to 12 battle reports this year. I am now at 4. The 5th one I'm currently trying to upload, but I hate my internet. It might take a while. So I want to do another 7 ones, and I will also probably do most of them with the weekly games and not with the tournaments anymore. Because I noticed in the tournament, the first 2 games were pretty good from taking pictures, but after that, and especially after the lunch, I tilted and forgot to take pictures way too often.
Yeah, it's all you need to do is forget for 2 rounds, and then you've got enough of a hole in the game that the battle report doesn't really mean that much anymore.
I think I still did an okay battle report, but it's not that fun for the ones watching. If you say, okay, I did this and this and this, and I can't change the picture, and now we are 3 rounds later and everything looks completely different.
Yeah, so just for the recording of the thing, it's not so good.
Yeah. And one goal that I didn't list, but that it's actually a soft goal. I don't want to start any new casters or any new logs in my case this year. I want to stay with my 3 casters, so Borka, Doomshaper, and Gunbjorn. I think they cover pretty much all playstyles and trolls okay, because I feel that you really need to learn especially your casters to get the most out of them.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. It's so important, and even just playing one game with Nemo 1 instead of what is currently my regular pair showed me that how much just knowing the list is important.
Yeah.
The game was a bit of a mess.
I might get some additional models. I might change around in the list a little bit, especially if the Creel Company list for the last CID, for the Battle Engine CID comes out. I might get some free stuff in a list that I'm already playing, but I will also try to keep changing my lists to a minimum just to get comfortable with them and just to develop some muscle memory on unpacking and the standards in the game.
Yeah, it's just being able to decide when you already know who you're up against, or rather what caster you're up against, or what kind of army you're up against. When you already know what you're going to do for your first 2 turns, then that's something that comes with playing a list a lot of times, I think. Whereas, what I noticed is switching to a different caster day before yesterday is that I didn't really have a plan. I just kind of knew what each piece does, but I didn't have an idea of how the game should look after a couple of turns. So I think for me that's something that certainly comes with more practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is annoying because I'm very tempted to have a few games with Kane 3. All I would need for a decent list is a charger and the actual Kane 3 unit. So it's very, very tempting, but I need to stay disciplined and just keep it to. I mean, 2 is fine and 3 is okay, but I think 4 different casters it just weakens your game with all of the casters, I think.
Yes, it's
So, yeah.
exactly the same with me. There are a few casters that I would love to try, Grizzle 2 for example, and I could try them by just swapping out the caster with a list that I'm already playing, but that would take away from the games I would do with the casters that I already have.
Yeah. Right, so looking at my goals, I haven't actually written them down, but I've written down sort of the vague categories. So I also want to play a game a week. I think that's the minimum that you have to play to keep on top of what you're doing. If you're playing every 2 weeks, for example, or every 3 weeks, then it's kind of like going to the gym. If you go to the gym every other day, then you're going to be doing some good. But if you go to the gym once a week, then you're not really going to be adding to what you learned or what you developed the previous week. So once a week is going to happen. Obviously, they've got a new baby on the way and things like that. So I'm going to have times when I can't do that. But overall, sometimes I get a couple of games in each week. And I'm also counting the tournaments towards that. So by the end of the year, how many weeks have we got left? Are we halfway through yet?
We shouldn't be. We should be halfway through in a week or so.
On the 1st of July.
Yeah.
So about 25 more games. My original goal was to do 4 tournaments this year, 1 per quarter, 1 every 3 months. But as we discussed before in the Lost discussion, I've already achieved that. I've had 4 official tournaments and actually 1 sort of games day with just 4 players and we all played 3 games. So I guess that counts as sort of like a bulk number of games. So I'd like to get in 6 tournaments as well, which means squeezing in another 2 before the end of the year. I don't think there's any actually lined up. I haven't signed up to any before the end of the year, so we'll see what happens. There should be another one in Neumünster, and hopefully some other internal one before the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that's that.
The guy from Neumünster said he wanted to do one in 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully be attending that. And then what I'd like to do is, as far as the Batreps are concerned, I'd like to have, let's say, for this year, it would be, because since Mark 3 started, I've done over 50 Batreps on the channel, including tournaments. So I would think I would like, let's say, for this year, to have done 40 Batreps. And, no, let's say 50. Let's go for 50. That's about 1 a week. And, yeah. We'll say 50, and if I don't make that, then it was just an unrealistic goal. So that'd be nice to have that many up on the channel. That doesn't include Marcel's Batraps. That would be cheating. And depending on the number of tournaments registered on the T3 website, I would also like to get into the top 100 ranking on that website as well. I haven't actually even looked to see if that's a realistic goal. I've currently got what it does is it counts up your best 5 tournaments. I
think so.
And yes. I've only got 4 tournaments up so far, and one of them I got 0 points because I came last. So if I manage to get in another 2 tournaments, then my score might be good enough to get into the top 100. I have to do the maths and find out if that's actually realistic or not. I might find that I need to get top 3 in the next 3 tournaments or something, which isn't going to happen, but. Yeah, well, that would also be something that would be nice.
It's a bold goal.
Yeah, aim for the stars.
Yeah, I'm currently checking my standing there. I used to be 400 something. Oh, but in the last one, it seems like I got some points. I'm now 372.
Yeah. That's I think I got 20. I got more points in the last tournament than I got from all of the other ones put together, I think.
Probably yes, because it was, I think, the biggest tournament you were at where you didn't get last.
Yes.
And also, I don't know how if that is factored in there, but we had some pretty high ranked players there. I think one of them was 27th.
Yeah.
At least 5 players in the top 100.
That affects your strength of schedule within the tournament. So I think out of all the people that went 2 for 2, I think I got one of the highest because one of the guys who beat me was the one who went to win the tournament. So I think riding on other people's coattails is another way of getting good.
You just need to lose
score.
against the good people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you're actually 214th currently.
Yeah, and I guess that'll change after this. I don't know if there's any tournaments on this weekend, but if anyone ranks any higher than me, then they'll push me down the ladder, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, I think that's a good place to stop because we are now running at 20 minutes, which I think is about the maximum for any normal person's attention span.
Yep.
And so this time I've double checked and we are still recording. So we can now turn this into a little miniature podcast on the channel. And we've got our fixed goals until the end of the year. So we'll see. Hopefully we can come back in January and have a talk about if we achieved our goals and what went wrong or what went right.
And if it helped us getting better.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. If it's just you and me at the top 1 and 2 on the T3 website, then we'll know we've done well.
Judging by how much the guys there play, that is unrealistic goal.
Yes, I agree. Cool. Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you on the next Batrep.
See you. Have
Thanks
a nice
very much.
evening.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.